Alright, breaker broke 2-3. So here is the ARF 2001 AM single sideband CB transceiver. Kind of a legend as far as collectability goes. As far as usage and whatnot, trying to live with this thing on a day-to-day basis, it's not going to happen. I'll start over here. Mic plug, mic gain, SAM, that's servo amplitude modulation. It's basically a processor, but they don't call it a processor. Look it up, you'll figure it out. I'm not going to go through the spiel. Volume control, squelch, tone, RF gain, fine tune / clarifier, antenna A and B, and power. The antenna A and B feature is, I think, is a pretty neat feature. I think a lot of radios should have them, just because it makes it really nice. And the separation between antenna A and B is excellent. You'll get some ham radios that you can turn up the volume quite a ways, and then you go and switch from antenna A to B, and you'll see there's signal bleeding through. Not very good separation. This radio doesn't do that, which is about one of the good things about it. You can do direct keypad entry or just do up and down with those buttons there. It has a scan system in it where you turn up the squelch, obviously, and it will scan. Mode selector, AM upper lower sideband. Yes, that bat switch is broken. Been searching for years to get another one. They're really delicate plastic, and that just broke. I accidentally thumped it and it just broke. Got the SWR cal dial, the dimmer dial here, which works, you know. Oops. I don't want to see why you'd want to dim those gorgeous beauties, but there you go. This one does not have the counter in it. This one has the clock. 40 channels. This one is modified. It has 40 up, if I remember right, and 40 down, or 2 groups of 40 up. I don't remember. I don't use it that much. It's not high on my list of used radios. SWR, AM silence. That's AMSIL, AM silencing. It's ARF's version of an extra noise blanker. It sucks really bad. Has a noise blanker that is very effective, that does work without making the signal sound too gaudy. External speaker, and talkback, and PA. Talkback is not a standard talkback like a lot of the modern radios. This talkback actually, you can use this in, say, you can wire a speaker into the other room, into another room, and the person in that room will be able to talk back to the radio. Kind of like the old PA systems in school, if you remember that, you know. You know, the meter cover, most of these are a little wrinkled. This one is like most all. Sorry about the light, people, but I have what I have to work with. So anyway, sure is a good looking radio. I'd say that this and the DAX are probably some of the prettiest radios made. She's a beauty, you know, really sweetheart looking radio. Construction is built really well as far as the cabinet construction goes and whatnot. We're going to get under the back panel here. A and B antenna. I don't know why A is on the bottom, but we'll go with that. This is serial number 108. PA speakers, separate fuse for the CB and the clock. Pretty cool. So we're going to take the lids off. This is the best part. Wish more people would do this. So inside this little turkey, here what we have is we have separate boards, 5 separate boards on the main chassis here. And to be quite honest with you, I've never really had a golden screwdriver in this radio or any of them. I've operated a few of these. They all operate fairly identical. This one hasn't been thrashed around too bad. They did a channel modification on a couple of the front switches for extra channels. Some guy wrote a note about the SAM in here for sideband. And there you go. As far as I remember, Sam only worked on AM, but I'm wondering if this had some other goofy mod. The old American-made transformer. American-made. I mean, this sucker's American-made. I mean, all the way to the switches. You know? This is about, what, circa 1978-ish or so. Here's what I think are some of the faults in it. This goofy wiring here. It's all this little micro solid cord wire. It's not stranded. They do pin-to-pin wiring. They wrap the wires around the post and then give it a quick solder job. You know, I'm sure there's an argument about that, whether the pros and, or you know, what the pros and cons are on that. But anyway, that's what she looks like top side. The bottom is nice and clean. The chassis is built like a tank. The way they've constructed this, it interlocks with each other. A lot of time went into the construction of this radio. I'm going to give them that. Boy, I'll tell you what, between that and look at all them little ties and how intricately tied all that is. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Too bad it's such a piece of crap. These things are garbage. Man, I know I'm going to get some email about that, but every one of them I've ever heard, played with, talked on, has just a real crap-ass front end in it. And, you know, if somebody spent some time with this design and probably re-engineered some of the receive in it, it might be a worthwhile radio, but other than that, it's just a pretty collectible. Nice and quiet, see? Look at that, nice and quiet. You can't turn the volume all the way down. It's almost all the way down, but that's a lot of radios in this era did that. PA switch works. Talkback switch is a group of, I think this was the lowers. This is the uppers. Put them both together, you go somewhere else. I don't remember. I used to have a chart made up for it, but whatever. Noise blanker works really good. Nice receive right now, right? Because nobody's on the channel. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip up to 38. Of course, now the skip's dying out. Listen to that, terrible. There's volume all the way down. RF gain up all the way. Now I'm going to turn the gain back. Cut it almost all the way off. Actually, I'm going to turn it off. Bring up the volume. Bring up the RF gain a little bit. That's a little bit better. Go to AM. Let's go to the Super Bowl. Now the skip's not in very good right now, guys. So here you go. I'll turn the RF gain back. It's not too bad. It's acceptable. Anyway, there's the volume all the way down. And still got audio. The only way to really shut the thing up is just listen to that signal. Really about the only way to... God, thing's giving me a headache. Not the only way to shut the thing off, shut the thing down or silence it is just taking out the antenna. Just flip over to a antenna B. Anyway, look, it was a pretty high-end radio for its day. I know they were up over $1,000. Pretty big bucks for 1978. But kind of like the Stoners, junk, you know, high-end stuff, but it was junk. There's a few people out there. I know a guy down in Georgia, 3 Double Deuce down in Georgia, that's got the Stoners figured out. He can make a Stoner just sing and receive properly, transmit properly, and work a lot of the bugs out. The problem with these radios are that a lot of these companies, you know, Stoner, CPI, ARF, these guys reinvented the wheel, which is okay, you know, it's all American-made stuff. But they had to get them out and produce them in such a hurried fashion that they were buggy, and they would have to use components that were available at the time of construction. So sometimes they wouldn't quite get the best quality of components. That's pretty common in Stoners, Pro 40s, Pro 10s, Pro 8010s, and stuff like that. The ARF, the idea was there, the looks are there, it just needs to be refined. I don't know if there are any techs out there that really have these things debugged. This one is for sale. I'm going to put this up on eBay. It's not perfect. It's got a bad solder joint or two here and there that acts up, but that's just the way it is. The ARF 2001 scanning transceiver. Pretty cool idea. Pretty awesome looking rig for sure. But unfortunately, in my collection, it's just a shelf bitch. So anyway, it's up for sale, guys. It'll be on eBay real quick. Or PM me, make me an offer. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Breaker Broke 23. I'm out.